Welcome to an episode of the Best Automatic. I'm your host, Captain Pervert.
And I'm your host, Captain Gorgeous.
And I'm Captain Know-It-All. So, as you all think that, some of you might be, that we're replicating a very popular car program what came out with very serious intellectual car facts.
Well, I've got something quite interesting. I've been looking at cars with folding metal roofs, an idea that sort of Mercedes started off and Ford hundreds of years before that. This is the first one. This is the Peugeot 307 Coupe Cabrio. Now, look at this, metal folding roof. It's quite fantastic. I've seen this thing. It's very, very pretty. I'm not sure when it's going on sale, and I don't know how much it's going to be. And the other one is the Renault Megane Coupe Cabrio, which not only has a folding metal roof, but the middle bit of the roof is glass. But the one that really interests me is this. This is the Daihatsu Koga. It's a tiny little Japanese thing, 600cc engine. It's going to cost about £12,000. But even this, apparently, has a metal folding roof. I don't quite believe it. So, can we fold the roof, please, Sarah? It's noisy.
It is, isn't it? You see, this is just another example of the Japanese taking a European idea or an American idea and then making it smaller.
But all those hours spent on origami weren't wasted, were they? Look at that. Now, a couple of weeks ago we had that Ford streetcar on this programme. Yes, and you two, if I remember rightly, said that couldn't be driven by a bloke. You said that was a girl's car. Am I right?
There aren't any men in here to ask, I'm sure, but anyway.
No, there might be. I'm going to do a little experiment with this car. Now, we've got Sarah in the car, and she looks unutterably gorgeous because she's a girl. I'm going to have to ask you to get out, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. And I want a bloke, I want a good-looking bloke, you sir, because we need to give this car a chance. I want you to get in there and see what this does for your manhood. It's not looking promising.
Oh my lord.
What do you reckon?
He was fine until the door slammed and now he looks like a bird.
Yeah, idiot, definitely. Not good. In fact, I don't think any bloke could drive that. And I think it's all of these little folding tin-top convertibles. You know the 206cc, the Peugeot, the baby sister of that 306 that we saw?
You know, I actually sometimes think it's blokes can't have convertibles. I mean, I've got one. No, I've got one. I came out of a meeting in London the other day. It was a beautiful sunny day. I thought I'd get the roof down, and I thought, I can't. I'm a middle-aged man with a bit of a paunch. I can't drive across London. What message am I giving out?
I think
you can't have a convertible.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop you there. I hate to interrupt, but this is quite honestly the biggest load of twaddle I've ever heard in all my 5 weeks in television. These two are not men, okay? This one, Richard Hammond, every morning sticks his head in a bucket of hair product. Right? He's got a dog, but it's a poodle. And I don't know what you're laughing about, Clarkson, because you won't drink brown beer. And this is the man that says flatulence, oh, it's not funny, when clearly it is, isn't it? I am actually the only proper bloke on this programme, okay? I live in a tumble-down house full of old motorbikes. And I think a bloke can drive a convertible, but has to be the right one.
And that be one vehicle, the one and only, yeah, the Sunbeam Tiger, because James Bond drove it. Well, technically he didn't drive the Tiger, did he? Well, no, but technically if they got their hands on one, they might have done, or the more better one. Like what? Well, you know that Carol Shelby and Ken Miles, right, squeezed a V8 into a, you know, the little minor little, you know, cute as it was, you know, the Alpine, you know.
Isn't that the car what has the floor pan from a Hillman Husky van?
Yeah, it did.
And they put a V8 on top of it.
Well, yeah. Didn't Sean Connery drive the 1959 Alpine? That came with independent front suspension, didn't it? And it was coiled at the back, disc brakes, and it had Evolution winding down windows. You actually could wind your windows down. That was modern technology then. Right.
Did Raymond Larry design the very first Alpine?
Yes, he did.
So, yeah.
But the thing is, though, right, that if James Bond needed a bit more muscle power compared to, you know, that, wouldn't he? Right. So he would have the, you know, the Shelby Cobra. So why are you bringing up Carol Shelby up for then? Well, about the Cobra, it's the most popular vehicle. Now, if you imagine, right, you could do the car chase from Dr. No again, but with James Bond in a lot more festive vehicle. Now, that would be quite interesting, don't you think? Well, yes, it would be. Well, obviously, when I did the Bet Automatic James Bond special...
Oh no! It's gonna start talking about Bond now.
Well, yeah. Well, what's up, Captain Gorgeous?
Well, I don't know all about this person. As far as I've figured out little bits, I know that he's a spy. And he tells everybody his name, especially the ladies. According to my mum, when I asked her, that he's horrible to ladies as well. And a lot of ladies don't like how he is.
Keep leaning on that tutor, Charlie, and you're gonna get a shot in the mouth.
Bond women over the 4 decades have been criticized by feminist movements, especially in the 70s. What do you feel about it?
I think they're bad sports.
There's something I'd like you to get off your chest.
Mr. Osato believes in a healthy chest.
Really?
Hi, I'm Plenty.
But of course you are.
Plenty O'Toole.
There's a lot more to Bond than just his ladies. There's cars as well, because he's well known for having quite a collection of vehicles.
It doesn't change the subject what my mum told me.
Look. I mean, you couldn't do that today.
Never mind that, we're going on a different subject. I should think about talking about, you know, James May, we're talking about them convertibles. Now, he didn't drive the Sunbeam Alpa, did he?
For a British sports car. And I've been waiting 30 years for this moment. Triumph TR6! At last! It's fantastic! When I was a boy and other boys were lying awake wondering how girls worked, I was lying awake thinking about the Triumph TR6. What's wrong with that?
You suck! You suck!
I think this is the blokiest bloke's car ever built. I've seen women driving Ferraris and Aston Martins and MGBs and Porsche 911s and just about any sports car you care to mention, in fact. But I have never ever seen a woman driving a TR6. I'm afraid the TR6 is rather gender specific, and I expect women are angry about that as well. But let me explain. Before the TR6, Triumph sports cars had always looked a little bit feminine. They had soft, bosomy curves and hips. But this one was different, and there was a good reason for that. Prior to this, Triumphs were designed by an Italian bloke called Michelotti. But when it was time to do the TR6, he was too busy. So they gave the job to some Germans. The German word for nipple is Brustwarz, breast wart. Here I feel is a nation that may be relied upon to produce a man's car. What a squarehead, look at it, blunt at both ends, thick set. I reckon if this car went to the lavatory, it would leave the seat up. Look at the engine. There aren't any poncy colour-coded filler caps to stop you putting oil in the radiator. It's just a naked straight six, a proper British sports car engine, made so that blokes can own toolkits. There isn't an ounce of womanhood anywhere on this thing, except the wheels. Look at this. It looks like the drum of a front-loading washing machine. Apparently. Once you get behind the wheel of the TR6, you realise that we chaps have been horribly misled. Look at this lot, driving executive saloons from A to B. Is this what we want? Suddenly, I can see modern manhood for what it is. I can't believe it's taken me so long to work this out. Come on, chaps, throw away your male grooming products and get out of the post-feminist society. You're a man. This is what you want.
That is a good fair point, you saying them kids and know it all, but yeah, there was a lot more what that educational program did about scientific stuff they didn't there as well? There was some serious stuff in that.
Time for some Top Gear science. We wanted to find out, could a bunch of blokes, well, the Ford Rally team, change most of the mechanical components on their car in less time than it took a group of women to get ready for a night out? So here we are at Ford's Rally HQ, and this is what they're going to be changing on the rally car. From the back, we've got the drive shafts, all the linkage, the suspension, the struts, the springs, the dampers. We've got the hub assemblies, the brake discs. Towards the front, we've got the gearbox, the front differential, the clutch, all the same stuff to hold the wheels on at the front. In fact, pretty much everything that holds all the wheels on, makes them go around and makes it stop. These are the Pirelli curves. Their mission is to get ready for a big night out. Which is one important thing to make clear. This is not a race. The guys are going to do the work at the pace they would properly under rally conditions, and the girls are going to do whatever they do at the speed they would ordinarily do before they go out. And importantly, neither side knows how long the other side is likely to take. So this is properly scientific. And if everybody's ready, on you go then.
It's quite interesting that, but obviously I am trying to get to a very important subject, you know.
What? About mechanics and ladies and stuff?
Well, that's a very serious point, that actually, isn't it? When we associate, you know, when we send our partners down maybe to the, you know, to get the car repaired or something, but it's that horrible stigma that every customer must have, is waiting for that dreaded, terrible bill, because obviously, you know, we are at the mercy of you know, car mechanics, aren't we? Well, yeah, but we need mechanics, don't we, and stuff and all that. Look, I mean, obviously, you know, but yeah, I know what you mean, because you might take your car for a certain, you know, sorry, I've got to interrupt you. We are really getting very deep with this conversation, isn't it? It's an interesting fact. Well, yeah, the thing is, though, we do sort of like, you know, we do say shit that we you know, obviously, you know, I'm nervous, but if you own a car, or, you know, we have any symbol of having a car, that we are left with the mercy again with the garage, aren't we? And we never know, because we always have to rely on the mechanics, that they know what's wrong with your car and how much the bill's going to be, and it's something unsurprising you might not expect. I mean, it's like having altercations on your vehicle. Say if you want your vehicle like specifically made something like maybe for a movie or something, or a very popular movie.
Are we trying to worm back round to James Bond?
Well, yeah, and obviously we want to talk about, convertibles, because that is the major subject, isn't it? And with convertibles, you do have problems. What happened, like with your roof or your tin roof don't work or whatever. That's more issues there, isn't it? Well, yes, that's a very good point, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to not get out. I'm trying to get round to explaining about, convertibles and James Bond.
So the away team got the car changed in
27 minutes.
27 minutes, and the women took.
Dunno, got bored, we left. To be honest, we packed up everything, stuff in the van, off, still going, talking, things like that.
I don't think men and women should be allowed to go out with one another.
I don't think it works.
Men should go out with men.
You're making me nervous.
Let's get back to what we know. Renault Clio.
Yes.
The epitome of Euro chic. Coco Chanel would drive one of these if she weren't dead. It's cheap to run, it's cheap to buy, it's got a good safety record. But now there's a new version of it, which is none of those things.
Oh, I was watching that. Well, I'll get back to that later, but obviously I'd like to simply explain about, about James Bond, and because you haven't all worked out about, about the blue convertible or anything.
Right, but I don't know who James Bond is.
Well, if you shut up and let me explain, right. James Bond's first car chase I tried to replicate for the best automatic James Bond special, as you know.
Right, is that why we've seen bad stuff with cardboard images and that?
Well, I am on a budget and all that lot. It's not like I could really afford a hearse. Obviously, I had a not so tame racing driver, if you really pay attention, driving the hearse behind our sort of replicated Sean Connery. Now, if that happened in real life, his toupee would have blown off though, wouldn't it? Well, yes, maybe that's why they did it without back ejection, and obviously everyone's having a good giggle at it, because obviously it looks like I'm replicating that, but
we're not bothered! Just get on what you're trying to get at.
Well, there's a chase, right? James Bond outwits these blind guys what are driving a hearse, right?
Right? It just sounds stupid. Blind guys driving a hearse. Then what happens?
Well, obviously they're blind, and but somehow they see something or they know something. Maybe there's an obstacle in the road, and it's a typical case. Back in the days, vehicles conveniently went off cliffs and that, didn't they? Right, so where are you going with this? I was more interested in watching about the Renault Clio. Well, yeah, but I'm trying to get at something.
I'll just put the bloody clip on.
That is just such a good-looking car. I drove the original one of these in Monte Carlo, and there were people stopping Ferraris, Lamborghinis, getting out to look at this. And it's a Renault Clio, that's incredible.
They were probably wondering why you were taking 66 bites at getting around the Lowe's hairpin.
Because of that turning circle.
Because of the turning circle.
Kind of spoils the glamour.
There's one thing I want to make plain. This handling thing, beyond the limit. Yes, you notice it on a track, it is tricky. But on a road, it's got so much grip, you'll never notice it. And I have to say, in my perfect 10-car garage, and I think all men have got one of those, yes? You've got one?
Yeah, do you want to know?
No, not now, but another day. In my perfect 10-car garage, I would definitely have one of these. No question.
What impresses me is the fact that you found that limit, and you went beyond it with your brave pill. It survived. Now, the old one, they didn't survive after. I broke one.
I broke several.
Everybody I know that drove one broke one. This survived, and that is impressive, actually.
It's more than just survived, actually, because most of the cars that come to the track and you do that mad sliding, smoky tyre stuff, they normally have to go home in a Hoover bag.
Yeah.
People, you sweep them home rather than drive them. Not a single thing went wrong with this. Didn't even wear its tyres out, which is impressive. But before we give it the complete clean bill of health, there is one more test to do. Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue dans le pleu, le Stig.
That'll be interesting to watch that. We're getting into that.
Yes, so was I.
Now, we've got our own not-so-tame racing driver, and I let it out of the portaloo now and again, don't I?
Yeah, to do weird videos about people driving off cliffs. Is that what you're trying to get at?
Well, no, we've been talking about convertibles, haven't I? And, but yeah, you're all right. It's a vehicle what goes off the cliff, and that is what's well, it happened in movies, right? Just to throw a car off the cliff, and yeah, in the movie, Dr. No, the bad guys drive the hearse off the cliff, and when it's going down the cliff, it explodes.
Why would it explode for?
Because it's a car and it's got like petrol in it back in them days.
Right. Why would it blow up because it's got petrol?
Well, if it was a battery operated vehicle, it would still blow up, don't it? Batteries blow up and now, don't they?
Right. So you're getting technical about cars going off a cliff?
No, what I'm trying to get back at is about convertibles and James Bond. Now, we all know that James Bond drove the Sunbeam, right? And,
well, I don't know that, do I?
Well, I'm explaining it to you, aren't I? Why are you explaining about James Bond? Because Captain Gorgeous doesn't know much about Bond at all. Or he recently has been picking little bits up because his mum won't let him watch James Bond.
Yeah, because my mum don't like Bond because, the things he does with ladies and that. So she thinks he's very disrespectful and that.
Right, well, yeah, because it's some strong issues about that, isn't it?
In 1973, a new Bond appeared in Live and Let Die.
My name's Bond. James Bond.
But what struck me as I was watching the Roger Moore films was how many of the Bond women needed to be rescued. Sometimes from the arch-villain, and sometimes from Bond himself. As when he tricks Jane Seymour's virginal solitaire into sleeping with him.
You could think of James Bond as being a bit of a villain because he cheated her at her own game. He basically cheats with the cards and tells her that it's her destiny to be with him, putting her life in danger and, of course, making her lose her mystical powers.
The deck was slightly stacked in my favor.
I always thought that was a pretty rotten thing of James Bond to do. That was not nice of an Englishman to do, no. The whole deck full of lovers, not right.
My mum wasn't happy what James Bond did to Dr. Queen, medicine woman. He made her violent, didn't he?
No, he didn't. Here, I'm not moving about blue convertibles. As you all well know, right, that we've just mentioned about 10 car garages, and we've got a 10 car garage with James Bond vehicles, and the Gimp tuck one out on our best automatic test track. So is that what you're trying to explain then? Well, yeah, technically, yes.
But why?
Well, as you all know from the previous episodes, we had a pink convertible, didn't we? Associating with Barbie.
Right.
So, obviously, we've only got one blue convertible, and we did it for the James Bond special, didn't we? And obviously, we don't have a Sunbeam output on the actual game.
Well, you're racing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, against Ferrari. Obviously, it's in the Shelby Cobra. Well, really, well, it's just we know what the car is. Anyhow, point is, yeah, that's what I picked for Bond to have. I mean, I would have thought, if they had the money back in the days, it was the first James Bond movie, Doctor No, right? And they rented that car, So I think if they could have got a really fancy car, he might have driven that.
Well, they are interested in race, but the game hasn't done very well.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting fact. You know, the game comes on the track a lot, and it's racing on its own. Trying to do the best times, and now and again, somebody will challenge the GIMP, and unfortunately, on this race, it's name and shame the GIMP, and congratulations to the alright, first time they've been on the truck, I presume, because there was a few mistakes, and yeah, they nudged the GIMP out of the way, and they won the race, so it's name and shame the GIMP. So on this, that the GIMP is going to be actually doing another times trial on our best automated test track. I mean, I've already seen this vehicle already on it if you watch the James Bond one, but I think the GIMP is trying to definitely beat Miss Takeaway and her little Barbie car, and like I said, it's a blue convertible. But what are you trying to get at? I mean, yeah, it's interesting to see the times trials and all that, Well, yeah, but I feel our not so time racing driver, with the GIMP is not really technically happy having competition.
Right.
But it's quite interesting, to have two rival, test drivers. Best way to, to describe them, innit? Well, yeah, I mean, with the GIMP, we don't know what it is, but it just drives, doesn't it?
Right, but we're not really bothered about hearing you whittering on. You've been whittering on for ages about a blue convertible.
Well, like I said, pink once upon a time used to be a boy's colour. Now it's blue, is maybe colour coded for boys, right? But maybe ladies want their colour back as well for blue.
Right, no, you're getting really baffling.
Well, James Bond drove a little blue one.
Well, right.
So, and your mum don't know James Bond, as she said.
Well, no, because it's about what it does with ladies.
So it didn't do too bad, did it? Well, yeah, I think that's the best time it's done it, or hopefully the GIMP has a few more goes, it might be better.
Well, it did better when it was in a BMW, didn't it? The GIMP.
Well, yeah, that reminds me about the GoldenEye movie. Didn't that have a blue convertible as well? Well, yeah, it did, but it did have that terrible reputation, didn't it?
What reputation was that then?
Well, it was the BMW Z3.
What, the reputation that's got is because people think it's for hairdressers, don't they?
Well, no, not that reputation. No, the point was, in the movie, it was meant to have a great action scene, full of, Stinger missiles, blowing up planes and stuff and all that lot.
Right, and what happened?
Well, you know how the Germans have a very funny sense of humour. I think this could have been the cause of why that vehicle didn't have an action scene. Right, why is that? Well, watch this.
A test driver from BMW came and said, what you have to do is nothing more than drive. Don't put the radio on, no buttons in this car, especially the red button. Don't touch it. Don't touch anything.
Was ist das jetzt hier? Das ist jetzt Alarm? Das ist jetzt bitte nicht. Das ist jetzt Check Nummer 1.
Schwingt ihr oder was?
Nein, was? Ich kann nicht nichts für. Ich habe gesagt, bitte nicht dran machen.
Our aim was to see him cry. That makes the people laugh about it.
Oh, nach Österreich?
Ja.
Das kann ja nicht wahr sein. Machen Sie mal den Kofferraum auf. Sind noch mehrere Überraschungen an Bord?
Ich kann Ihnen noch nicht mehr sagen als das.
Was ist das? Gegen mich auf der Seite?
Ja. Ich hole dich von mir im Weg.
Was ist das? Ich hab da auf! Holen Sie mich auf!
In Germany, a policeman and a dirty uniform, he kills you. That was the first thought I had. It's typical German.
Kann doch wohl nicht sein. Sie können ja nicht mit so einer Kanone hier durch die Gegend fahren.
We tried to go step by step further on, yes, to torture him a little bit more and more and more.
Machen Sie mal vorne auf, das ist da links der Hebel. Irgendwo. Dann schauen wir mal das.
The audience watching the film is never told, but moments after the explosion, the policeman told Drager someone was burning in the car.
You haven't seen it in the film, but then the situation, there is a man burning in the BMW. For me, I was a killer. It was too much. It was too much. They couldn't imagine what I feel. It's okay. It's a joke, but just a cruel joke. As a director, you have always to find the right border. And when you make a step over this border, then it's possible to become very cruel, and nobody will laugh. Mr. Schroeder from BMW told me if something happens, I have a walkie-talkie to call him, so I took the walkie-talkie.
Ich drück nicht mehr drauf, ehrlich nicht.
Mr. Schroeder, then burning the car, burning for me a man in it. Mr. Schroeder, help, come back.
Herr Schröder, tun Sie uns bitte eingefallen, kommen Sie zurück, weil wir haben wirklich schon genug Unheil angerichtet. Ja, Sie schalten das doch da aus.
Wie ist das jetzt hier?
Das haben wir doch da auch gerade gesagt.
So, Herr Drechsler, machen Sie das?
Bitte nicht. Ich meine, wir haben... Ja, ich höre. Kommt, Herr Schröder, seien Sie so lieb, kommen Sie bitte zurück. Herr Drieger, bitte nicht. Alles aus aus dem Auto. Wir passen nichts mehr an, bitte nicht. Oder gehen Sie beide weg.
Still freaking out, Drager is finally told to remove the keys from the car's ignition. When we stopped the joke, we can't believe that it was a joke.
They give me a glass of champagne. I take the champagne, so he become angry that he was a victim of just a joke. I thought to go to a lawyer and tell him, he said, yeah, don't show this on TV. I don't want it. I think that is a lie. But my manager said, it's the best PR you have in this year. And so I said, okay.
That was nasty, that.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that vehicle never got in the action scene, so that's the reason why then. Yeah, that's one reasons I think it was.
Never mind that, they'll play nasty jokes and that.
Well, yeah, but I did say they have that sense of humour, don't they? But we weren't amused knowing that that car didn't do all that action scenes what we all promised, right? Because it was a big build-up in the movie, weren't they?
Right, now pay attention, 007. First, your new car. BMW. Agile 5 forward gears, all points radar. Self-destruct system, and naturally, all the usual refinements. Now, this I'm particularly proud of. Behind the headlights, Stinger missiles.
Excellent. Just the thing for unwinding after a rough day at the office.
Need I remind you, 007, that you have a license to kill, not to break the traffic laws?
I wouldn't think of it.
Good. Right, let's get on to more practical matters.
Yeah, it was quite disappointing having no action scene like that. Well, yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, I mean, introducing the BMW for Bond as well.
Why are you on about this? Because you know very well I haven't seen Bond movies and I don't know any much facts about it.
Why is that? Because like I said, his mum won't let him watch Bond, but yeah, he doesn't know much at all. He's always known briefly stuffed, aren't you?
Oh, from you?
Well, maybe we can coach him a bit.
Well, yeah, because it was embarrassing when I asked my mum, because yeah, she got angry because how Bond is with ladies.
But the point is, I'm trying to get at is a simple point of blue convertibles and pink convertibles. Is that what you're trying to get at? Well, yeah, because you're always speculating to see the gimp driving the blue convertible on an online session, aren't you? Well, yeah, that's what it's building up to, isn't it? There ain't no footage of that, because the gimp wouldn't do it, because obviously it's getting mistaken as Ken, not James Bond, but Ken, because he drives a blue convertible.
And so does Barbie as well.
Well, yeah, in the toy line, yes, she is known for. Well, obviously, she gets Ken's accessories, doesn't she? But technically, the blue cars may be Ken.
But how do you know that?
Well, this is what we're trying to get round by maybe this political science we're trying to put in. Yeah, but all it is having a takeaway driving on an online session. There ain't really much science in it. Well, the thing is though, we are giving the difference of having a pink convertible and a blue convertible, and everyone is meant to be associating that convertibles is always set for one, member of sex, isn't it?
Are you associating that ladies are always suitable for driving pink convertibles?
Well, that's what we're doing this science on the online session. So here's the footage. So we've got another test driver, right, and she's on the online session and she's found an unexpected online player just standing there for the mercy of online players to kill them.
But she isn't going to kill the online player, is she? We're trying to lure online players to drive that little pink convertible, aren't they?
Well, yeah. So what's happening? She's just got out, but that online player's just standing there. Yeah, but this is the science of it. So sometimes we always associate that some of these players could, want to to relieve themselves.
What you mean by that?
Well, call of nature.
Right, but what do you still mean by that?
Well, we've got, barrels and stuff and things, and, we've got to dispose, People have to go to the bloody toilet, that's what I bloody mean. Anyhow, so obviously she's going to do the most appropriate thing. Maybe the toilet's nearby for this online player, and maybe they'll hear this strange beeping noise. But usually, why? Well, usually when I go to the toilet and I do this, I always hear myself getting killed or something. There's always some online player who ends up killing you, don't they?
Yeah, that's why I don't go online.
Well, none of us do. That's when we send somebody else to bloody do it, don't we? But her reaction is trying to get this online player, and some strange reason this is unusual, because
Hello, I am Fernando Martinez. People always say to me, Fernando, when I want to kill myself or cry into my pillow or my wife has just left me for my sister, I don't have no music to play, assuming I am not near a radio and can't listen to you on the radio. Because Fernando, you are a genius and it is the only station I ever listen to. One day, while watching adult TV, I say to myself, Fernando, you are a genius. People are crying out for a soundtrack to listen to give them an optimistic slant on the tough times in life. You see, love is like a roller coaster. You pay a lot of money to be tossed around, and before you know it, the ride is over and you are covered in vomit. And if you are less than 4'6", they don't even let you get on. You see, music says things that words cannot. When you break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or both, or you get fired for embezzling, you need music. Music to stare out the window, or stand in the rain, or drive on the freeway in a convertible with the top down in a snowstorm. So, if you are feeling a little bit down, let Fernando take you on a journey.
Whatever cruising means to you, here's music to cruise to. Emotion.
Sorry for any viewers who don't understand what's going on, but our time racing driver, or not so time, likes listening to the radio. So as you notice, there's an old shark online player, and she's approached. Obviously, online players are very aggressive. As you remember this classic game at any of you. Now, to know that these are online players, not on their friends list, because if they were, there'd be a bit of blue, right? And the thing is, she is actually pursuing, so obviously this is a hint of violence, and you can imagine this online player is gone to a dead end, and they're going to get out of that vehicle and shoot the hell out of her. But somehow the power of the pink convertible, that the online player is totally just ignored her.
Well, she didn't play any aggression, did she? She didn't point any guns. It would be different.
Yeah, but the thing is, now that online player is in a buzzard and still we've left her alone.
More mood swings than your pregnant wife. Emotion 98.3.
Hello, I am Fernando Martinez, and this is Emotion. When I first come to Vice City, I feel all lonely, a man on the outside, a foreigner. Then I say, Fernando, you like to talk a lot? So I get a well-paid job on the radio and begin to make my name as a successful DJ. Now I'm not so lonely, but I never forget my roots. I never forget, and so I always have a soft spot for foreigner. I've been waiting his next.
So it's quite strange now, this behaviour, what happens on this online session since she was on. Right, so there she is, she's driving along. Now we all remember the buzzard, right, flew off, and they were in a night shark. Well, this online player is there, and obviously if you see on the map, there's another online player nearby as well. And they seem to be more curious about her, maybe, as well.
Why is that?
Well, this is the strange thing about the game. See, night shark, God, go right, don't they, right? But watch this other online player. Right, it's very interesting how this behaviour happens.
What, like the PCs are crashing because of lamp post?
Oh yeah, but yeah, you'll notice now, this is maybe, you know, this was a typical thing what happened on this classic game, didn't it? You know, people communicated with each other by using the vehicles or, and that's why one reason why we got horns on vehicles. Not for communicating with people, but, you know, for warning people and stuff, you know, blind bends or something like that. Anyhow, we've got the invention of the horn, and that's the reason, yeah, that. But then this odd strange behaviour happens, that they've just left the game, leaving the vehicle. Obviously she can't get in it, but it's very cute, you know, it's just odd, you know, but nobody didn't shoot at her.
Let's keep on breaking hearts and firing lines. Listen to me, and more of this.
So, that online player must have lost the internet or something. Maybe that was the reason. Anyhow, they were back. All of a sudden, as we all know, that online players don't know each other or all that. And, but how do you communicate? You know, a bit of flirting or touching the phone and all that. But, yeah, it was quite interesting to see the behaviour of people, how they react to a pink convertible. But then that night shark was back, and this happened.
Wait on, this is all put on. Surely they must know each other.
No, that just what genuinely did happen, and it's really, I mean, that did happen, right?
You sure? You're not making it all up?
No, I ain't. She came on, and you know, this what happened to this online player. Obviously, yeah, I wouldn't advise everyone to start pestering people on online sessions, you know, especially now the latest GTA.
Yeah, but people do react quite strange then, don't they?
Well, I think it was around the time that, you know, the Barbie movie was very, very popular still, wasn't it? And, yeah, it proves to show that a lot of online players more like to have a go at driving a little pink convertible. She just conveniently got out, and look, the happy away, you know, he's even dressed up, you know, with some form of, maybe Ken. Is that what you're trying to get at? Or maybe, but well, they're dressed up, aren't they? So it just proves to show that online players, even this game is meant to be, you know, hectically violent, and you have got the freedom to do anything you want, meaning you can do anything exactly, not stick by any rules. And this is it. That online player back to their night shop, and strange enough, yeah, back to their, you know, what they're wearing. So what's she gonna do now? Well, I thought, well, that was quite nice of them, but yeah.
You're an emotion.
So she's on her merry way, and obviously, who's back again?
This is a put on, surely.
No, but yeah, it's the guy in the night shop, and he's buzzard and that, and she's pestering him again.
So what's gonna happen now? We're gonna get annoyed with her.
Well, this is what she's trying to do, but no, the power of the pink convertible proves to show that, you know, and that it proves to show that everybody must want to drive the Barbie Lookalike car or a pink convertible. You know, it's just natural for, you know, anyone that wants to drive a pink convertible. So we shouldn't be discriminating it.
Never did we?
Well, no, but I think she's going to leave the online player alone now, because she's just going to be weird now and stalkery, and yeah, you can get arrested for that, can't you? It's a good theory what you're doing with pink convertibles. You may, a lot of online players will always going to be Zoom. They're playing with some hot chick, 20-year-old woman playing the game, and they're always going to be associated driving a pink convertible for some reason. Well, yeah, but that's why I'm trying to incorporate James Bond, because, you know, he drives a blue convertible, doesn't he? Well, you know, he's got a couple. Well, yeah, but we all associate James Bond with the Aston Martin, don't we? Well, yeah, we do, but there's one sort of Aston Martin which is convertible, but, you know, Q branch, right, you know, it didn't have a fold-away roof, and it didn't have, you know, a canvas roof. You just folded up and all that lot. Oh, yeah, Living Daylights, wasn't it?
Why are you two talking about James Bond again? Now you're at it. You know I don't know anything about stuff like this, so I'm left out.
I'll stop whinging. Right, we'll show you some facts, right? Yeah, I mean, there was that scene in there with Q Branch Who the hell's Q? Oh, right. Q's in charge of the gadgets of the car. That's why we associate with Bond, right? I mean, just show him a clip. Oh, yeah, that all explained, done it?
Morning, Q. Mind your head.
I've got something for you. Oh, we're just winterizing it.
37 square root.
I want you to get that over to 10 Downing Street this afternoon. The PM wants to give this to the Russian ambassador for his birthday. Oh, the antenna's in the quill.
What was that all about then?
Well, the best way to describe that is Q, right? That was that bloke, right?
With the feather?
Well, yeah, but just say he's just like his mechanic for his gadget cars.
Right. But why don't he take it to a normal garage then instead of this poor old man then?
Well, you know what the prices of a garage would do, especially if you got a car with full of other gadgets I won't know what they're doing with.
Right. This is just bafflingly confusing.
Well, you saw the video with the BMW Z3. Imagine, you know, going to a normal garage and all that mayhem happened.
But why has he got all these gadgets for?
Because he's a bloody spy and we got bad guys I need to fight and all that lot.
Right. It seems stupid.
No, it's not stupid. It does actually make sense.
Does it?
Well, yeah, it's obviously it makes sense. But, oh, bleeding heck, Captain Know-It-All. We'll have to explain all the stuff to him, don't we? Well, that's not too bad, is it? He needs the help, doesn't he? Well, yeah, and the audience might need a recapping. There's a lot of generation what no. Oh, yeah, I suppose.
So what? So why has he got a gadget car then?
Well, we've got to go once upon a time, but I can't be really that bothered. Well, technically we should be for Captain Gorgeous. Yeah, they actually started off in one of the old movies with Sean Connery with Goldfinger.
What?
Yeah, it's about Goldfinger.
The guy's got a Goldfinger.
James Bond's Aston Martin found itself the top attraction. Everybody wanted to see how the awkward passenger can be shot into space. Also, the other devices by which a bad time is had by all who seek the blood of 007.
You still haven't answered my question. Why has he got a gold finger for?
Well, the best thing for you is actually to see the movie, wouldn't it? That will explain it. Mind it, he can't really give you a good explanation, Mr. Know-It-All. Now, we might be talking about convertibles, not the DB5, or what? Yeah, but you could class it as a convertible, couldn't you, near enough? It's got a big hole in the roof, hasn't it? No! That's for its ejector seat.
And why has it got a ejector seat for?
Well, some little whippersnapper reported that.
What?
Diamondized wax protection against road chemicals, fumes, rust, corrosion. That can do a car in before it's quite paid for. How do you get this protection? Vista Cleaner Wax. Vista cleans, shines, protects in one step. Protects edges of doors, fenders, chrome, full works. Give your car Simonized wax protection with... Sorry, old girl, wrong button. With Vista One-Step Cleaner Wax from the Simonized chaps.
Why you keep interrupting every time I'm asking a question? You keep putting clips on.
Because we're helping you. We're spoiling the movie. I mean, next thing you'd be wanting a trailer or something, and that would definitely ruin the movie for you if you ever see it.
Well, I won't know as long as my mum don't find out.
What, the trailer?
No.
Just put the trailer on and, you know, put him out of his misery.
What do you mean, my misery?
Goldfinger, a crowded thrill-making cinema entertainment. A three-time winner for playing Secret Agent 007.
Who are you?
My name is Pussy Galore.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned man his last request?
You asked for this.
Come and purr over Honor Blackman as Pussy Galore. The female who is all feline. Also starring Gert Kroger as Goldfinger. International Chief. International Menace.
Gentlemen! Goldfinger, why weren't we told in New York and the West Coast were in on this? Goldfinger, I made a delivery. Where is my money? And you owe me $1 million.
Goldfinger, the man with a finger in every pie. His goal, Fort Knox, the world's biggest bank. His enemy, 007, the world's wiliest, toughest gentleman agent with a license to kill. 007, it spells Bond. James Bond, mixing business with girls and thrills. Girls and fun. Girls and danger. The hotter the danger, the cooler he takes it.
I think you've made your point, Goldfinger. Thank you for the demonstration. Choose your next witticism carefully, Mr. Bond. It may be your last. Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
So did that help you out then, Captain Gorgeous?
I was a bit confused.
Oh, blading it. Is that all you're going to say? Right. So, if he's going to be confused and all that lot, I think one thing that we should end, right, this episode right now. And hopefully we can explain a lot more to him when we're not doing our program, alright? So, on that topless motor car, it's time to end the show.